Welcome to Baycats TV. This is Game 6 between the Barrie Baycats and the Welland Jackfish. Welcome up to the broadcast booth. Good to have you with us, Julius Hern. I'm Patrick Melbourne. All right, Julius, anxiety getting a little bit high in this series as we go along. Welland now up in the series 3-2. If Welland wins, the series is over. If Barrie wins, we'll have a Game 7 tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Everybody's eyes are on Evan Souls. He gets a start in the biggest start of his IBL career.
Absolutely. Evan Souls hasn't had a start in a couple weeks, but he's had a few appearances out of the bullpen, which have looked strong at times, but shaky at other times. But I think he's really dependent on the run support that he's going to get from the Baycats. The Baycats have been hitting the ball pretty well, but they've been leaving a lot of guys on base, and I think that's going to be the X factor for them if they're going to win this ball game.
And another X factor, James Bradwell did very, very well in Welland earlier this series when he faced off against the Baycats. The Baycats are going to have to figure him out today.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a thorn in the Baycats' side. I believe it was Game 3, and the Baycats, really have to get on him early and often. Again, they're going to have to keep the offense going throughout this game. They've really struggled to get runs on the board, and that's going to be, again, the X factor for them if they're going to continue this series tomorrow.
Evan Souls versus James Bradwell. Will the series continue tomorrow night for Game 7, or will the Jackfish win it tonight? Should be a good one, going to be an exciting one right here on Baycats TV. In a moment, you'll hear the voice of Rob Daniels giving us our introductions at Vintage Throne Stadium. Umpires on the field. It's the home plate umpire Jeff Rose, Jacob Goba at first, Nick Leffler at second base, and Chris Long at third base. Manager Josh Matlow out from the Baycats dugout, giving his handshake to the home plate umpire Brian Essery for the Jackfish as well. We'll get the starting lineups in just a moment, as well as the starting defense and more info on the starting pitchers. Glad to have you with us on Baycats TV. Inching toward first pitch. Now let's hear the voice of Vintage Throne Stadium, public address announcer Rob Daniels.
Good evening, Barrie Baycats fans, and welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium here at the Barrie Community Sports Complex for playoff baseball in the IBL. Tonight's Intercounty Baseball League game features the visiting Welland Jackfish and your Barrie Baycats. It is game number 6 of this best of 7 Intercounty Baseball League finals, and Welland leads the series 3-2. We will begin tonight with the starting lineups. First for the visiting Welland Jackfish, managed by Brian Essery. Batting first and playing center field, number 11, Gio Morello. Batting second at first base, number 15, Steve Moretto. Batting third at shortstop, number 23, James Smibert. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 16, Sam Cocker. Batting fifth in left field, number 10, Mateo Porcelato. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 33, Carlos Martinez. Batting seventh, playing second base, number 6, Tyler Dupuis. Batting eighth in right field, number 24, Hogan Brown. And batting ninth at third base, number 9, Ethan Hunt. Pitching tonight for the Jackfish, number 30, James Bidwell. And now the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first in center field, number 9, Kenny Sejo. Batting second, playing third base, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting third, the second baseman, number 4, Royce Ando. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 55, Hayden Jaco. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 17, Avery Tuck. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 6, Kyle Maves. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 46, Evan Souls. Here are the umpires for tonight's Game 6. Calling the balls and strikes, we have Jeff Rose. Handling first base, Jacob Gaba. At second base, Nick Lafler. And at third base, Chris Long. Fans, we ask that you please rise if you are able to. Remove your caps for the playing of O Canada. Thank you.
Game 6 here at Vintage Throne Stadium, just about to get underway. Let's give you the starting lineups first for the Welland Jackfish. We're coming in here with a 3-2 series lead. Gianfranco Morello will lead things off. It'll be Morello and then Steven Morazzo, James Smybert, Sam Cocker, Mateo Porcelato, Carlos Martinez, Tyler Dupuis, Hogan Brown, and Ethan Hunt. And when it comes to guys to watch out for, I mean, both the catchers in this lineup, Sam Cocker, who's playing DH tonight, and Martinez, who's behind the plate, Julius, they're both very dangerous behind the plate and at the plate.
And both have really come alive in this series, and Sam Cocker especially. He didn't have many at-bats in the postseason coming into this series, but Brian Estrie used him off the bench earlier in the series, and he proved that he deserved to be in the starting lineup, and he's been a starter in every game since.
Evan Souls taken to the mound. So far this postseason, he has played in 4 games. He started 1. 0-0 with the record so far with a 5.83. He's going to have not only the best appearance of his postseason, but the best appearance of his IBL career.
Yeah, and he really needs it. This Baycats team is going to rely on him to keep them in this ball game. And like I said, in the open, the Baycats have to give him some run support to make him feel confident on the mound.
So Souls taking his warm-up pitches. We'll give you the defense for the Jackfish shortly. Weather today, it's looking pretty good. Nothing too chilly like it was last time we were here at the ballpark, and nothing too warm. Kind of that sweet spot of the year where we're not going to get too many bugs either. Should be a pretty good night for baseball.
Yeah, for the mosquitoes and such at the ballpark, it's been much better throughout the whole year than I've expected. And that's a great thing always. You know, it's a pain to have mosquitoes all around you calling the game, and especially the players. I've played at this ballpark before, and I've definitely felt that before, and it's not fun.
And the wasps have gone away this year too. You haven't experienced the wasps.
Well, it almost became an issue at the beginning of the year, if I remember. Yeah, very glad that did come to fruition.
The first inning of play here at Vintage Throne Stadium being brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting, Design, Supply, Build, Renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade. Leading off the first inning for the Jackfish, center fielder number 11, Gio Morello.
Design, Supply, Build, Renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade. Evan Souls ready. Now he steps off, and he's a little less ready as Gianfranco Morello ready to step in. As the home plate umpire, Jeff Rose, is now arguing with somebody. And he's pointing all sorts of directions to somebody with the Jackfish. And now he's telling somebody, I think, to get off the field. Brian Estrie out of the dugout. And he's telling some of the folks standing by the dugout wearing Jackfish hoodies to get out of the field of play. Let's try again. Souls ready on the mound. Gianfranco Morello, the left-handed batter, will step in for the first at-bat of Game 6. First pitch by Souls is a strike, and we're underway. Morello this series, a .469 on-base average. A batting average of .366. He hits that one to right center field. And it'll drop in front of Avery Tuck, the right fielder. And that is how we get this game started here today.
That's tough for Avery Tuck. He really didn't get a good read off that ball off the bat. And a late break charging in.
The first baseman, number 15, Steve Moretto.
Good breakout in right field.
So now Steven Moretto has had an excellent series so far. He's batting second across the postseason. He's hitting .319. 6 home runs for the big right-hander after 10 in the regular season. Pitch from Souls is up high. Morello's got good speed over there at first base.
Yeah, Morello with 5 stolen bases throughout the playoffs this year in 12 games.
Lots of fans from both fan bases here. Pitch from Souls is popped up, well foul.
I believe this is our biggest credit of the year, regular season or post. So really great to see. Last home game of the year here in Barrie.
Battling chance of Let's Go Jackfish on the left field side and Let's Go Baycats on the right field side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here it comes, and that is up high. Jaco threatens a throw to first to keep him close. Count 2-1.
Yeah, it's really going to be hard for Morello to take that risk against Hayden Jaco, whether a secondary lead or even if he tries to go to second. Jaco's proven this series and throughout the season that he's been able to have a strong arm on stolen base attempts.
Here's the 2-1. Runner does not go. The pitch is a ball. Count now 3-1. Home plate umpire Jeff Rose. First base umpire Jacob Goba. Second base umpire Nick Leffler. At third is Chris Long. Four-man umpiring crew for Game 6 of the IBL Finals. 3-1 from Evan Souls to Steven Moretto. Long pause, now comes home, and that is strike two. 3-2. Keeping an eye on the runner at first, that's Gianfranco Morello. Ready on the hill, has it signed, kicks comes home, and that is way up high and inside, and there will be 2 on with nobody out to start off this game. Let's give you the defense for the Barrie Baycats.
In the field for the Baycats tonight.
The shortstop, number
Kyle Mays
23,
gets to start in
James
left field. Kenisi
Smibber.
Joe in center. Avery Tuck is back in right field. On the infield, Adam Ott at third, Carson Burns at short, Roy Sando and Malik Williams on the right side of the infield with Hayden Jaco catching Evan Souls.
Outfielders Brad McQuinn and Starlin Rodriguez starting this game on the bench today. This is James Smibert. First pitch inside from Souls, who's still looking for his sharpness early on.
Yeah, Smibert's been really hot in this series, and he's risen his average in the playoffs to 382 through 13 games. 18 RBI as well with 4 doubles.
The 452 on base average for James Smibert. Souls looks back at the runner. The 1-0. Swing and a weak grounder right to the plate. Jaco fields it in foul territory. It's a strike, 1-1.
The corner infielders for the Baycats playing shallow double play depth.
A lot of people still coming into the ballpark here at Vintage Throne Stadium. I think you're right. This is going to be easily our biggest crowd of the season for the final home game of the year for the Barrie Baycats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kicks, throws. That's hit to right field on a line, and it'll drop in foul territory near the bullpen. Morello started this inning with a walk, or with a single, then Moretto walked. That's where we're at right now. 2 on, nobody out, and a 1-2 count to James Smibert, the 3-hitter.
Yeah, best case scenario here for Evan Souls would be a ground ball double play just to give him a little bit extra support in the first inning.
1-2. Kicks, comes home, and that's fouled straight back.
Smibert's been really good at the plate this series with extending plate appearances of 2 strikes. There's a couple guys in the Baycats that have really shown a strong 2-strike approach, but Smibert's kind of one-upped them in this series, maybe able to rise the pitch counts of the starting pitchers.
Crowd getting behind Souls, 1-2. Again, looks back at Morello. Deep breath, kicks, comes home. That is popped up. Could be in foul territory, but could be catchable for Adam Ott at third base. He makes the catch. Morello back to second, and that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that could have been deadly there for Gio Morello. He was off
Designated
on that pitch
hitter
and
number
slid
16,
into third
Sam
base.
Cocker.
If that ball wasn't hit so high up that he could have been easily doubled up by Adam Ott.
So here's Sam Cocker. Cocker has been red hot. He leads the Welland Jackfish in playoff batting average with a 3.91. Has a home run and 7 RBI. That home run did come in this series in a big spot against the Baycats. A runner in scoring position now as well as 1 on first. Souls comes home, and that's outside. Both Morello and Moretto have speed.
It was interesting there on that foul-out pitch. Morello was on the way to third base, but Moretto not trailing behind him, staying at first base there.
A throw back to second. Morello back in time. Count 1-0. As we mentioned in the open, if necessary, this game would go to Game 7. This series would. That's to start at 7 o'clock tomorrow in Welland. Pops up. That'll go into the crowd. as always in an IBL ballpark, and Vintage Throne Stadium is one of them, heads up down the first and third base lines.
Interesting here from the Baycats defense. We noticed with nobody out and 2 on, the corner infielders were playing shallow, like almost at the infield grass, but now, even with 1 out in a double play scenario, they're still playing at regular depth. There's something to watch out for here.
This crowd is loud. Morello steals third. That's hit to center field. It'll get down for a base hit. Morello rounding third. The throw goes back to the cutoff man at shortstop. And the Welland Jackfish have taken an early 1-0 series lead, or 1-0 lead in the game.
Yeah, it looked like a hit and run there again with Morello not trailing behind him on his way to second. That hit and run worked perfectly there as Morello easily scoring from second base there.
So 1-0 Wellands. Moretto moves up to second. Cocker at first now. So 2 on, only 1 out. And Souls is going to have to continue to battle, this time against Mateo Porcelato.
That's the 8th RBI of the series for Sam Cocker, or of the playoffs, excuse me. But he's been red hot in this series.
Was an excellent rookie last season, has just continued to be a valuable player for the Jackfish this year. Up and away to Porcelato. Porcelato, as well as the rest of this batting order, had a great season. Not so hot in the postseason, down below 200, but you can't discount what he's done in the regular season. That's why he's still in the middle of the order. Here's the 1-0. And that's up and away.
Well, with Sam Cocker, he was getting the majority of the playing time for the Jackfish this season at catcher, but when they acquired Carlos Martinez, they then started use him sparingly. But having both of them in the lineup, especially in this series, has been deadly for the Baycats.
2-0. Souls looks back at second. Kicks, fires, and that's a strike. 2-1. Martinez, as you mentioned, in the lineup today. He's on deck. Evan Souls trying to get through the first in the biggest outing of his young career. Again, fouled away. A good battle here, 2-2.
Porcelato struggled so far in this postseason. Only a 195 average, 13 games. He's 8 for 41. But no easy outs.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the inning. Souls to the plate. And that is inside, dropped by Jaco, and it goes full, 3-2. Carlos Martinez is on deck.
I think Evan Souls needs to stay low in the zone here. He needs a double play on a ground ball.
The runner at first is Sam Cocker, average speed. The runner at second is Moretto. He's got good speed. 3-2. That's it to right field. High, deep, and Porcelato got it. A 3-run home run for Mateo Porcelato. And in the first inning, it's 4-0 for the Welland Jackfish.
And like I just said, Souls needed to keep that ball low in the zone, and he wasn't able to do so. A high fastball up in the zone. Porcelato taking advantage of that. And the Jackfish have blown it open in the 4th inning, or excuse me, 4-0 in the first inning.
The first home run of the postseason for Mateo Porcelato. Everybody celebrating outside that dugout. And the Jackfish have made it so the Baycats have work to do early in this one. It's 4-0. And now Carlos Martinez bats, and it doesn't get any easier. 5 batters have gone to the plate for the Jackfish. 4 have scored so far. There's 1 out in the first. Souls comes home to Carlos Martinez, and that is outside, ball 1. With Rose, you're going to get mostly a consistent strike zone, mostly that average strike zone. Sometimes can get a little bit wide. Here's the 1-0. That's too far inside, 2-0 to Martinez. The Baycats frustrated with that 3rd spot in the rotation. 2-0. That is outside and low, 3-0. They've been getting good pitching performances from Frank Garces and Juan Benitez, 2 each in this series. But the 3rd spot, Jeffrey Nunez, really struggled in Welland, and now Evan Souls has given up 4 in the first inning in Barrie. 3 balls, no strikes to Martinez, who's trying for a 4-pitch walk. That's a strike, 3-1.
Clean slate here for Souls is a good starting off point to get his confidence back in this ball game. And nobody on base. He has a bit more freedom, but it's hard facing Carlos Martinez, a strong hitter.
2-1, and that is too far outside. Martinez takes the walk. Well, Julius, if Game 4 was a bit of a heartbreaker, we had that rain delay that kind of shifted some momentum, but Frank Garces was pretty much done that day anyway, and the bullpen could not hang on. There was a big home run late. Game 5 was even more heartbreak, and now Game 6, Welland's gone up early, and the Baycats hoping to avoid having a 2-0 series lead, and then Welland winning 4 unanswered.
Yeah, that's not what the Baycats wanted at all. They were so close in Game 4 to go up 3-1. Heartbreaking finish in that one after the rain delay. Jackfish got all the momentum back. I was surprised to see Garces come back in the 8th inning. He came back, he gave up 1 run to finish off the inning, and that was the end of his night. And then with 1 strike left to win the game, Brad Grieveson gave up a 2-run home run to Carlos Martinez, and that was the decider. But the story for the Baycats in this whole series is their inefficiency on offense. They haven't been able to score runners on.
Tyler Dupuis now. Dupuis had an excellent series. He's hitting .356 in the postseason. And if the Baycats offense has cooled off, the Welland Jackfish offense has done the opposite. No easy outs across the entire lineup. After the first 2 games, Brian Essery took a step back, reevaluated his batting order, and this revamped batting order has really worked wonders. Here's the 1-0. That's hit to left center field. Icho moving back. Icho at the warning track. He moves to his right and he makes the catch. The throw comes in again to the cutoff man. Moving back to first is Carlos Martinez. And Dupuis is retired for the second out of the inning.
Well, you mentioned the revamped batting order for the Jackfish. Hogan Brown coming up here. He started the series at the top of the order. Strong hitter, played at college ball at VCU. Guy that's been lights out for the Jackfish this year, but hadn't found it in the playoffs, and still deserving to be in this lineup, but had to be moved down to get some more efficient bats at the top.
The IBL has such a unique dynamic in the batting orders with a lot of college-destined players, and a lot of teams found themselves struggling as there's a swing and a miss from Brown, making it 0-1. A lot of teams found themselves struggling down the stretch because key players were leaving for college. They were essentially out for the season. The Welland Jackfish have essentially their entire lineup with them right now, and that has been a huge benefit to them. Here's the 0-1. That's up and away. No, that'll get the strike zone. 0-2.
And speaking to that, you will never know how much of a different story it would have been if Noel McGarry-Doyle and Josh Cote for the Baycats were able to stick around for this playoff run.
And not to give excuses, but you look at McGarry-Doyle and Cote, and you look at both Spoljaric brothers who were scheduled to come, and then that didn't end up happening. And they had built around some of the weaknesses that have been exploited by the Jackfish in this series. That must be a little bit frustrating for Josh Matlow. Here's the 1-2. On the grounds. Ando to his right. Scoops it underhand to Burns. And that is finally the inning. But the Welland Jackfish score 4. And they're at 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the first, and we get to see James Bradwell on the mound. You're watching Rogers TV, Baycats TV in Barrie, and the watch party in Welland at Tailgates Grill and Bar.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wilkes, owner of Insightful Living and licensed provider of Brain Echo Technology, which aims to calm and balance the brain. If any of these troublesome things are troubling you, then I'm talking to the appropriate person now. Don't
Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning. Let's give you the lineup for the Barrie Baycats. Kinesicho leads things off. He's playing center field. Then Adam Ott, the third baseman. Royce Ando, the second baseman, is batting third. Then Ryan Rio, the DH. Malik Williams is batting fifth, the first baseman. Then Hayden Jaco, Carson Burns, Avery Tuck, and Kyle May is playing left field. James Bradwell on the mound. We saw Bradwell earlier on in this series, Julius. He was just about unhittable.
Yeah, he was absolutely dominant in Game 3 in the postseason so far, a 1.31 ERA, a 4-0 record in 4 appearances, 3 of those starts.
First pitch from Bradwell, hit up the middle, and Kinesicho says, hey, so much for that unhittable nonsense. I'm going to start off the inning with a base hit.
Give you the defense here really quick for the Welland Jackfish. In the outfield, Mateo Porcelato. In left field, Gio Morello in center, Hogan Brown in right. On the infield, Ethan Hahn at third, James Smyber at short, Tyler Dupuis at second, Steven Moretto at first, and Carlos Martinez is the starting catcher tonight for James Bradwell.
So here's Adam Ott. Ott red hot through the whole regular season essentially and the first 2 rounds, but has cooled off a little bit lately. He'd like to get back hot. Big swing and a miss. 0-1. Up in the batting order today, Brian Essery switched things up early on in the series. Josh Matlow switching things up today. That's down and in, 1-1.
You know, Adam Ott, yeah, like you mentioned, he has cooled off a little bit throughout the tail end of this postseason, but he's still 4th on the team in average in the postseason, 318 in the playoffs with a 784 OPS.
You're going to see 4 pitches from Bradwell, most of the two-seamer in the change against lefties as Ijo goes, and he is out. So Ijo leads things off with a base hit and is promptly caught stealing 1 away. You're also going to see the curveball and the slider from Bradwell against the righties. So 4-pitch mix. But he can really get away with using 2 pitches against some big hitters.
You know, if you're only showing Baycats hitters 2 pitches, you have those 2 other pitches in your arsenal to bring out any time and surprise some people.
2-1 to Odd is dribbled to second. Tyler Dupuis on the run to his left. Overhands it to first base. Moretto makes the catch. 2 out.
Second baseman number 4, Royce. Number 7, Royce Ando.
And if you're Kinesicho, I mean, you can clear your head a little bit because that probably would have been a double play anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Ijo's shown this year that he's been a throw on the base pass, but doesn't seem like that's been the case for the Baycats in this series. Catching for the Jackfish has been unreal defensively.
Up and in. That's a strike to Royce Ando. Just catches the zone. Ando has been one of the Baycats who has stayed red hot into this series. Has been getting consistent playoff playing time. Swing and a miss there. And it really has benefited him.
Well, Ando in game 4 was 4 for 4 with a double and an RBI.
Down and away. Appeal to first base. They say he didn't go.
And in game 5, he was 1 for 4. So maintaining a strong hitting streak in the IBL Finals. He's been one of the guys the Baycats can count on to get on base in any fashion.
The righty Ando and then the lefty Ryan Rio on deck. Here's the 1-2. Ando pops it up over to first. Moretto, Dupuis, both running for it. Dupuis calls Moretto off, and he makes the catch. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for James Bradwell in the first. It's 4-0 for the Jackfish after 1. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV and Barrie, and hi to our fans in Welland watching with the watch party.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Brought to you by Winged Restaurants, the great taste of adventure.
Welcome back. Top of the second inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by Winged Restaurants, the great taste of adventure.
Rob Daniels, our public address announcer. Julius Hern, our booth analyst today. I'm Patrick Melbourne. Ben Davey is on assignment. If there's a Game 7, Ben, Julius, and I will have the call for you on Baycats Radio, right here on Baycats TV. First pitch is a strike to Ethan Hunt. If you're watching from Welland and there's a Game 7, you'll have your normal YouTube broadcast with Alec Murray and Spencer Tangway. That's a strike, 0-2.
Adam Odd playing quite shallow defensively, expecting a possible bunt here from Ethan Hunt.
That's outside and low from Souls. It'll be Hunt, then Morello, and Moretto. Baycats are hoping to get some length out of Evan Souls, who has gone as deep as 8 innings this season. It's a right field. That's going to be in fair territory. Tuck moving to his left. He reaches up and he makes the catch. So a quick out in the inning.
Well, that's going to be a momentum boost for Evan Souls. He let the first 2 men on in the first inning. That kind of slowed him down a little bit, but I think with that first out, he's going to have it rolling throughout the rest of this inning, I think.
So Morello will bat now. Morello singled and scored in the first inning, so he's had 2 at-bats in 2 innings. That's not a good sign for Baycats pitching.
Morello had a strong Game 5, 2 for 3 with a run scored, and that run score came on that long home run.
Up and away from Souls. That contact command rather, the control, has not been on Souls' side early in this game. Swing and a miss. It was there, 1-1.
And that's uncharacteristic. He's usually good at firing a bullet into the zone. He's this pitcher who preps well. He's very loose, like he's really easygoing, but these kind of moments might not be a strong suit.
Souls, a guy who can reach really high velocity. That's outside. But when he has to go for more length in a game, he has to bring down that velocity a little bit and gradually get through the game rather than bring it up and get through an inning. He's worked as both a short reliever and a long reliever, as well as a starter this season. 2-1 is granted to Ando at second base. Throw on to first, 2 quick outs in the second. Much better so far.
And that's usually a strategy that pitchers will go with, and I know I've experienced that as well if I had to pitch. You don't want to show the other team all your velocity or all your pitch mix early in the game. You want to save that as a weapon going forward. If you're going to get 6-7 innings into a ball game, you need something to go back to that they haven't seen before.
So if you're waiting on your velocity, as Steve Moretto takes a ball up over his head, if you're waiting on your velocity a little bit, try and bring it in as a surprise later. How do you counter that with your tiring arm?
It's all about pitch placement. I don't say it's a tiring arm thing.
On the ground, short bounce, tricky bounce for Burns. Throws to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. You want to finish your point before we go to break?
Yeah, we'll pick that up in the next inning.
All right. Julius needs a few more minutes to determine what the rest of his point is. Heading to the bottom of the second inning, still 4-0 Welland. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV, and Barrie.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson and the Baycats win.
Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Welcome back, bottom 2. Ryan Rio standing in. Julius, do you want to just finish your point from before?
Yeah, I was talking about a strategy for a starting pitcher, using velocity and pitch mix throughout a game, and I was saying that you don't want to show opposing batters all of your pitch mix or all of your velocity early in the game. You kind of want to build it up throughout the game. You want to, save. You don't want to use all your gas earlier in the game, right? You want to have, something to finish off your outing strong with. And that's mostly the point I was going for at the end.
Up and away to Ryan Rio. Well, the Baycats are going to have to be more disciplined on the base paths. Starlin Rodriguez thrown out to end Game 5. And now Canisicho caught stealing at the start of Game 6. 2-0 to Rio. They've got a lot of fast runners. They've had success stealing, but Martinez and Cocker both have excellent arms behind the plate. The Baycats found that out the hard way. Moving over and making the catch in left field is Porchelato. He kind of lost it for a second in the lights, but recovered, made the catch, 1 out.
Yeah, it looked like Porchelato had a really hard time picking up that ball, almost like he overran it. Similar to the play Morello had in Game 4 in center field in the 9th inning, but Porchelato able to collect himself and re-find it and just reach over and snag that one.
Remember that catch Morello made in the outfield late in the game in Game 4, where we weren't sure if he had caught it live, but he did catch it, and it was just an incredible catch.
Yeah, it also didn't seem like Carson Burns, who hit the ball, it didn't look like he thought he caught it either. He was hustling to get extra bases out of that, and it turns out it was all for naught.
0-1 to Williams. Moving over is the third baseman. He makes an excellent play. Ethan Hunt to Steven Moretto to get Malik Williams, and there are 2 out. Well, Welland fans will hate me bringing this up, but Bradwell came fairly close to a no-no in the other game he pitched in this series, and he has retired 5 straight here to open up this one.
Yeah, Bradwell has shown the Baycats that he has the stuff to get them out, and the Baycats have struggled against him compared to every other pitcher that the Baycats have seen from the Jackfish. This is the one guy that they haven't had much success against.
You would think if there's a Game 7, it would be Ben Abram on the mound against Frank Garces. First pitch inside to Hayden Jaco. It's 1-0.
But at the same time, it's also Game 7. The Jackfish are probably going to have everyone available.
On the ground, second base. And Dupuis makes the play. Moretto on the receiving end, and it's a 1-2-3 inning, a fly out and a couple of groundouts. Baycats have nothing going against Bradwell so far.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Top three here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by Phaetrim, aluminum and siding, quality above all else.
This pitch brought to you by Evan Souls to James Smybert as we get started with the top of the third inning.
For the Jackfish, shortstop number 23, James Smybert.
The commissioner of the IBL is next to our booth right now, by the way. A potential trophy ceremony after the game today. Oh, 0-1 to James Smybert. That's on the ground. Tricky bounce, and that might get through. No, Burns moving to his left into second base territory, and there's no time to make a throw to first. A base hit for James Smybert. Here's Sam Cocker.
That ball might have been in the most awkward spot for the Baycats infield to field that one and make a play. It looked like it was going right up the middle at a slow pace, and then it kind of just took a hop on an angle, and no chance for Carson Burns to get the speedy Smybert.
I think you're right. Very awkward position. So here's Cocker, singled and scored in the first inning. This Jackfish, half of the crowd tonight. They must have brought a fan bus, right?
I would assume.
Yeah,
so
a lot of
them,
Jackfish
actually.
fans.
They're filling up the whole left side of the ballpark so far.
And that side of the ballpark is much louder. That's hit to left field. High, deep, and foul. And Cocker didn't miss that one by much.
Yeah, just a tad early on that one for extra bases. Kyle Maves probably wouldn't have been able to get over there if that one stuck on the line. And that one might have scored Smybert had it got down. Like we mentioned earlier, Cocker, hottest bat, I would say, in the Jackfish lineup.
It's the catchers right now. It's Cocker and Martinez.
Yeah.
Martinez in the hole. Portulato on deck. Cocker at the plate right now. 1-1. That's up and in. That's a non-competitive pitch.
And to think that Carlos Martinez hadn't hit a home run the whole season until this series, and he has two.
It's impossible to think about. I mean, we saw him come up in Game 4 after the rain delay. We were all kind of nervous, and then he hit a big home run. Here's the 2-1. That's up high. And sometimes that catcher platoon, with both guys getting off their knees a little bit, that can help both bats.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good that for the Jackfish, they've been able to alternate having one catch and one DH throughout the series.
3-1. Swinging a foul ball. And the Baycats, of course, have done the same thing with Hayden Jaco and Carson Burns.
Yep, alternating games as well. We saw we've seen mostly Jaco in the home games than Burns on the road in Welland.
Full count to Sam Cocker. Runner on first, nobody out here in the third. Welland has a 4-0 lead. That is popped up really high. It'll be playable if they keep their eye on it. Odd back, and he makes the catch. Good play. So here's Porcelato.
And hopefully Evan Souls might have heard me in the last time he faced Porcelato. Hopefully he's able to keep pitches low in the zone. That home run in the first inning on a high fastball. Easily pounced on by Porcelato.
Porcelato homered his first time up, as you mentioned. That's a strike. So that slightly wide strike zone from Jeff Rose has proven true again here today. And it's familiar. He was behind the plate for a game earlier on in this series. That's inside. Souls tried to go inside for a call. That was too far inside. You'll notice, by the way, from our outfield camera, that there's a Baycats logo on the mound today. Another nice touch from our excellent grounds crew here in Barrie, led by Joe Breeden. That's hit to right. Did he get one again? He did. Porcelato goes deep again. His second home run of the game. And it's 6-0 for the Jackfish. Unbelievable. Porcelato came into today with 0 postseason home runs. He's been up twice today. He has 2 home runs now. And to use the old baseball phrase, when it comes to Porcelato against Souls now, ownage is ownage.
Matt Lowe making a visit to the mound here for Evan Souls. Looks like there's going to be someone getting up in the Baycats bullpen. Nobody throwing just yet. Oh, there's someone coming out.
Pitching change. Evan Souls departs. Brandon Hillier coming in. We'll tell you more about Brandon when we come back. This is Baycats TV, and you're watching on Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats.
2 out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand.
Welcome back. Not the start the Baycats wanted. We're in the third inning. It is 6-0 for the Jackfish. If the Jackfish win tonight, they win the Jack and Lynn Domenico Trophy. It will be presented on the field by Ted Kalnins, the commissioner of the league. And Julius, Mateo Porcelato has chosen a really good time for the Jackfish to get hot.
Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. He was hitting under 200 in the playoffs coming into tonight, and he's really shown that that's not indicative of the kind of player he is. 2 home runs tonight, accounting for 5 of the Jackfish's 6 runs.
Carlos Martinez will lead things off. He singled his first time up, too. That's grounded to second base. Ando to first. And a quick out. That's the second out of the inning. First against Hillier. I should have said he's leading off against Hillier after he came in.
Well, Brendan Hillier, he's making his fourth appearance in the playoffs so far. He comes in with 4 innings pitched, a 4.50 ERA, 4 strikeouts to 3 walks. He has 1 save in the postseason and no wins, no losses.
Tyler Dupuis, the second baseman, and Royce Ando's counterpart. That's hit to left field, not deep. Moving in and making the catch is Kyle Maves, and the inning is over. But another 2-run home run, and another home run by Mateo Porcelato, who is on fire this game. It is 6-0 for the Jackfish.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wilkes, owner of Insightful Living and licensed provider of Brain Echo technology, which aims to calm and balance the brain. If any of these troublesome things are troubling you, then I'm talking to the appropriate person now.
Welcome back to Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. Sam O'Coin here as well. Bob Hurley, our photographer. Dylan Quinn, our producer today. Ben Davey and Brian Backland on assignment. Juliet Mason helping with camera work today. And then our behind-the-scenes crew of Dan Miller, Gary Mason, Riley Stone, and Rob Daniels in the media booth. First pitch to Carson Burns, up and away. Jack Hine, James Henderson, our analytics folks that we'd like to thank for their excellent work across the entire season. We'd like to thank all of the game day team. And our Baycats media team. Julius, we're just thrilled about how well everything has worked on the media side and how well we've all worked together this season. It's grounded to second, tricky bounce. Burns has a single. And I have nothing but good things to say about all of you and everybody who's worked on the media team. This is your first year with the Baycats, and it's been quite the year.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun covering the team this year. Glad the team's been able to give me some experience in the broadcast booth this year. Everyone's worked really well together. We put out some great content. I'm really happy with how everything's worked out this year.
So Carson Burns with the leadoff single, and that'll bring up Avery Tuck. Tuck swings and misses. Burns with pretty good speed over there at first. He showed it on that athletic play. He didn't end up getting the out at first, but had to go a long way to even stop the ball from getting into the outfield over in the second base area. Tuck back in the lineup today. He's been in and out of the lineup throughout the season and throughout the postseason especially. Joined the team around the halfway point of the season as he did in 2021.
Well, Tuck was really hot in the Kitchener series, semifinal series against the Panthers. But he struggled a little bit in this series, kind of reverting back to his regular season ways. He struggled with the strikeouts this year, but another guy, he deserves to be in this lineup tonight, I think.
0-2 to Avery Tuck. That's fouled off to the left side.
You know, especially against a right-handed pitcher, the lefty tuck, you know, he has that, you know, percentages advantage. Josh Matlow having him over Starlin Rodriguez, right-handed batter.
Swing and a miss from Tuck, and that is strike 3. That'll bring up Maves. First strikeout of the game for either side tonight.
Fielder number 6, Kyle Maves.
Fourth inning, we're going to talk to the commissioner of the Intercounty Baseball League, Ted Kalnins, will join us in the broadcast booth. Great to have some special guests along in the postseason. Ben Davey, Dylan Quinn got to talk to Dave Mills, the longtime president of the Barrie Baycats. That was an excellent chat. Pitch outside's Kyle Maves, 1-0. Starting the wave here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Chopper, second for one. They get the out there. They will not get the out at first base. So Burns forced out. The fielder's choice. Maves at first now. Here's Kinesi Joe.
Yeah, no play at first base for the speedy Kyle Maves. Yeah, that's a slowly developing turn at second base, and just no opportunity for the throw to go over to first base.
Icho standing in for the second time today. He singled, but then was caught stealing in the first inning. Big swing and miss there, 0-1. A lot of Jackfish fans here tonight. A lot of Baycats fans as well. This place is packed. This is the big event in Barrie tonight.
Absolutely.
The 0-1. Kicks, comes home, swing and a miss.
I'd be very curious to see what the 50-50 gets up to tonight with all the fans at the ballpark tonight.
I don't think we're allowed to sign up. That would be a fun thought.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but then realized that's probably
not. The 0-2. Runner goes. They're testing the arm, and that time the throw is wide. Maves is going to get to third. First to third on a pitch. And that will have to be an error on the catcher, Carlos Martinez. So a stolen base and then an error to get him to third.
Great heads up there from Kyle Maves. He slid into second, and he was going to be safe at second base, even if shortstop Smyber was able to come up with that throw. But he popped right up, saw the throw was going into shallow center field, and headed right on his way over to third easily.
Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. And that is the second strikeout of the inning. Both swinging, and that will retire the side. We're going to have Ted Kalnins on the broadcast when we come back. IBL Commissioner here on Baycats TV.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wilkes, owner of Insightful Living and licensed provider of Brain Echo Technology, which aims to calm and balance the brain. If any of these troublesome things are troubling you, then I'm talking to the appropriate person now.
Hogan Brown will lead things off for the Welland Jackfish, facing off against Brendan Hillier. It'll be Brown and then the top of the order with Morello, Moretzo, and Smybert. So Brendan Hillier taking his final warm-up tosses. To Hayden Jaco behind the plate. Great to have Ted Callens, the IBL commissioner, join our broadcast today. Ted, I'm Patrick. We haven't met before this. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be up here.
So Hogan Brown facing off against Brandon Hillier. Ted, this is your first season as IBL commissioner. This is potentially the final game of the season. So how's your first season been?
Oh, it's been outstanding. I've been had the privilege of attending at all of our stadiums and getting a chance to see their stadium operation in action and getting to know the owners and of course far better. And we've just had a lot of great meetings just talking about how to grow this league and how to grow our reputation, and it's been a lot of fun.
Here's the 1-0, and that's a swing and a miss. Hogan Brown now down 1-1. So you came into the league this season, a lot of new experiences. What's gone when you came in, you had some ideas in your head. What's gone according to plan this season? What's gone well?
Well, I think we made a really big jump in terms of our in-stadium operations. You know, we wanted to make a really good point of ensuring that we had a minimum standard of quality at all of our ballparks, no matter where you're seeing games. And I think that's been achieved. That we have had some great improvements there. And in addition to that, I think we've seen just a lot more fans generally. I mean, we've been trying to keep good track of our numbers, and the growth has been fantastic. It's not just the best teams in the league. It's really across the board. There's been a lot of increased fan attendance and social media interaction as well. So.
Well, you look at the great job the Hamilton Cardinals did with their rebrand. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers come into the league next season. So you're in your first year on the job. Barrie fans may not all be familiar with you yet. Tell us just a little bit about your background, about yourself. Who is Ted Callens?
Well, it depends on how far back you want to go, but I'm from Burlington, Ontario, and I had the opportunity to play baseball at Ohio State University for 4 years. And
what position were you?
I was a pitcher.
Okay.
And played a little bit in the IBL after I was done with university, but then focused very closely on my legal career. I went to law school in London, Ontario. And then after about 6 or 7 years of practicing law, I got the itch to come back a little bit, played a little bit for the London Majors down in London. And, I got to say, more than anything, it was just how gorgeous of a stadium they had. The chance to be out on that historic field was the major draw for me. And so I've been a lawyer for 20 years now. And I did spend a few years in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame Board of Directors, where I wanted to, stay involved in baseball at a high level, but not having the time to really coach and, be involved on a kind of day-to-day basis with a team.
Throw over to first, gets away. So Hogan Brown's going to be able to get all the way up to second base. So he reached on a walk, now up on a missed throw from the catcher, Hayden Jaco. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, and so that's another reason why I got involved with the IBL, just continue to stay involved in baseball at a high level. I'm just really loving this opportunity, the chance to steward this historic league that's been around for over 100 years and take it to the next generation.
So if this is it this year, there will be a trophy presentation on the field. You'll be a part of that. We'll be able to stay on for that on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. So that'll be an interesting and fun event, whether it happens tonight or tomorrow night in Welland.
Well, as we've seen in this series, anything is possible. This game isn't over yet. There's been a lot of surprises in these playoffs.
Absolutely.
Not just in this series, but in others. So, we'll wait and see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, looking ahead to next year, I'm going to ask about Chatham-Kent in a moment, but other than the Chatham-Kent team joining, what kind of new stuff can we expect coming out of the league next year?
Well, we're looking at entering into a lot of strategic partnerships with corporations to help additional funding come in as it relates to marketing and otherwise. So we've done a fair bit of that this year. If you've been following us on social media in terms of having various sponsorships from corporations. We're going to continue doing that on a much broader scale next year. And we're in the process of investigating a few different things in terms of how we do our broadcasts, which have been fantastic, but we always want to keep improving. Our website, our scorekeeping supplier. We're looking at improving really everything we do. So I'm excited to see where we go next year. As you said, we're adding another team, but we're hoping that the fans of the IBL, they're going to see that there's been just an additional layer of enhancement.
So, and I'm not asking you to get into anything too controversial or too negative here, but if you had to think of anything that didn't work quite as well as you were envisioning over this season that you're looking to improve and get back on track for next year, is there anything that comes to mind?
No, not really. To be honest with you, we've done some great improvements. The other issue that's been hanging over the league for a little bit is the Toronto Maple Leafs situation. As I'm sure you're aware, they've been up for sale this year, and there's been a lot of people who've been interested. And I think that's another situation that has gone extremely well. The league took very close care to ensure that they had a very good and normal season while these things were going on behind the scenes, and I think that's what happened. Obviously, they came very close to being in this IBL
They
finals.
did.
And so that's something that we expect is going to have some developments in the offseason. For those of you who are fans of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I can assure you there will be a team next year. I can assure you they're going to be a great team. And
that's a base hit for Gianfranco Morello. A run will score, and it's 7-0 as Hogan Brown crosses the plate. And still only one out in the inning. Continue?
Yeah, and so as I've kind of been a theme here talking about the next phase of the IBL, I mean, we'll have a few things going on. We're adding a new team. We'll be a new ownership group in Toronto. Of course, the Dominicos owned it for, I think it was 50 years or so.
Long time.
Under their stewardship. And so that'll be exciting. And as I said, we're going to do some things on the technology side. We're going to try to improve some things as well.
Sounds amazing. So good to know that Toronto Maple Leafs baseball will be back next year. That's excellent to hear. All right, let's talk about the big headliner for next year. Brand new team in Chatham-Kent. They're going to be called the Barnstormers. They're going to play at Fergie Jenkins Field. We've been keeping an eye on their social media. Everything looking great. The league's excited about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was very excited when I learned that this has actually had the wheels had already been turning on this issue before I became involved earlier this year. And so when I learned about this development, and I learned who the person was behind it, Dom Donnell, whom I had the fortune of knowing maybe 20 years ago in baseball circles, I was excited because I know Dom brings a lot of excitement. He's an energetic guy who loves baseball. And since then, I've met with him and his group a couple of occasions, and I know what they're doing to kind of set the groundwork. This season has been phenomenal. They have been working tirelessly on the kind of operational side this whole season. And so when they get the first pitch at Fergie Jenkins Field next spring, they're going to be very ready, and it's going to be outstanding.
Fouled right back to the screen. So the one thing about that is that it does put the league at an odd number of teams. Is there an idea to maybe expand somewhere else in the near future after that?
Well, I definitely think there's going to be another team in the near future. It has to be the right partner. It has to be somebody that we trust is going to, have the ability to carry out a successful operation. We're not going to add a team just for the sake of adding a team. But there's a lot of interest. I get a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls with people who are interested in potentially being that 10th team. And we're being cautious about it. But certainly, I expect at some point in the near future there'll be a 10th team. We'll have two divisions. It'll be an even number.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us in this half inning as it has concluded here. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning on Baycats TV. Thanks to Ted Callnans. You want to stick around for a little bit more, or are you headed off somewhere else?
I actually have to run and get things settled up for the rest of the game, at the end of the game, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. A lot of great insight, and glad to have you on as commissioner. We'll be back in just a moment right here on Baycats TV.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
See you this summer!
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Great to hear from Ted Callens in the last half inning, the commissioner of the Inter-County Baseball League here on Baycats TV. We thank him so much for giving us some of his time. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you here. Fourth inning brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services. Adam Odd will lead things off. Bottom of the fourth inning. Couple of strikeouts in the last inning. For James Bradwell. Odd pops it up. Heading into foul territory on the left side, Ethan Hunt makes the catch, and there's one away.
The Baycats need to start chipping away at this lead early and often. It's the fourth inning. They're really running out of time. I know there's 5 innings left after this, but the time is now. It's 7 runs. That's a gauntlet of a deficit. But Roy Sando has been a hot bat for the Baycats in this series.
Welland Jackfish 7, Barrie Baycats 0. That's on the ground to third. Hunt again. Hunt over to first, and the throw's a little weak, but not weak enough to make it matter. Moretto scoops it up, 2 away.
Designated hitter number 27, Ryan Rio.
So here's Ryan Rio, who flew out to left in his first at-bat. Baycats have 3 hits in this game, but no runs, and they haven't come all that close to a run, other than Kyle Mays getting to third base in the last inning. Rio fouls it away. That was an error on the catcher, Carlos Martinez, which wasn't scored an error, actually, so I should stop saying that, but might as well have been. It was a throw that got into the outfield and allowed Maves to get an extra base. That's on the ground to second. Tyler Dupuis. Inning over. Quick inning for James Bradwell, who really has not looked that troubled today. Heading to the 5th in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium, 5th inning, brought to you by Eatsall Paving for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for almost 40 years because you deserve the best. Line score on your screen right now, the Welland Jackfish. 4 runs in the first, 2 in the third, and another in the 4th inning. Baycats so far with only 3 hits. They have 1 runner in scoring position so far tonight. They're going to look to get hot, and to call it for you in the 5th and 6th inning, Julius Hern.
Thank you, Patrick. 3-4-5 in the Jackfish order to lead it off in the 5th inning. James Smybert due up here against Brendan Hillier into his 3rd inning of work. That's a first pitch strike to Smybert.
So I'm going to cheat and look at your notes for what happened in the last inning to finish the inning, because we were talking to Ted and I...
On the ground to second, Ando scoops it up. Easy play over to Williams for the first out of the inning.
I wasn't able to record all of it. So Moretto struck out. And then what happened with Morello on the base paths?
He was caught stealing, I believe.
There we go. Now I'm up to date. Thank you.
So here's Sam Cocker, one of the hottest bat in the Jackfish lineup, in my opinion. Takes first pitch strike. There is action in the Baycat bullpen.
Aiden Russell getting loose.
1-1 the count now on Cocker as that pitch was in the dirt.
Brandon Hillier's pitched well so far today. Came in and kind of rescued Evan Souls a little bit, but now we are in bullpen game territory. Hillier against Cocker now, but he's a short reliever.
Yeah, tough outing for starting pitcher Evan Souls. His line, 2 1/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 1 walk, 5 earned runs. Not what the Baycats needed from him in game 6. 2-1 pitch here to Cocker. He fouls to the screen. Hillier taking his time on the mound. Setting the pace here in the 5th inning. 2-2 pitch. Line up the middle, a base hit for Cocker. Sam Cocker, his 2nd hit of the game, remains a hot bat in the Jackfish lineup. 1 on, 1 out.
Second single today for Cocker, and he scored in the first one, so this will be an inning where they're going to be monitoring Hillier, and if he gets into trouble, then they might have to use Aiden Russell out of that bullpen.
Man in the batter's box for the Jackfish has been the difference maker tonight. Mateo Porcelato, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. And he takes the first pitch outside from Brendan Hillier.
It was starting to get a little bit chillier now at the ballpark. You do wonder if that'll start affecting pitchers' command just a little bit. That ball can change grip just ever so slightly when the temperature changes.
On the ground to second, it could be 2. Ando to Burns. On to first, double play. Hillier gets out of it with a 4-6-3 double play. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, 7-0 Jackfish in game 6. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats.
2 out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand.
Welcome back. Game 6 of the IBL Finals. Game 7, if necessary, would go tomorrow night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time at Welland Stadium. You can watch it on YouTube if you're a Welland fan. If you're a Barrie fan, you can also listen to the game right here on Baycats TV. We'll have a radio broadcast. Ben Davey, Julius Hern, and myself on the call. Julius?
Thank you, Patrick. First pitcher to Malik Williams. Outside for ball one will be Williams, Jaco, and Burns. 5, 6, 7 in the Baycats order here in the 5th inning. Ball 2 there to Williams. James Bradwell, Jackfish starting pitcher, has been strong tonight. He didn't allow a hit in game 3 until late into his outing. He has allowed 2 hits here, but other than that, a strong outing. First strike there of the at-bat to Williams, 2-1.
We were talking in the break. There's a couple arms up in the bullpen for the Baycats. We noticed that Russell was one of them. We couldn't get a great look at who the other one was, but there are 2 warming up. It doesn't look like either of them are throwing now, so they both might be ready.
So we could see a pitching change to start the 6th inning. A 2-2 count here on Malik Williams. He's 0 for 1. 2-2 pitch. Just outside. Both pitcher and catcher for the Jackfish confident that was going to be strike 3, but the count's now full. So 3-2 pitch to Williams. Fouled out of play. Baycats need to start a rally here. They're down 7-0. With their backs against the wall, Jackfish have a 3-2 series lead and could close it out here tonight if they can hold on. 3-2 from Bradwell. High and in. Malik Williams draws the leadoff walk.
Williams fortunate that ended up in a walk. He was behind Bradwell's pitches through the entire at-bat, but it doesn't matter if you get on base.
So Hayden Jaco will step in with a runner on base. Grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. That's his first time up. Another bat who was hot in the Kitchener series in the semifinals, but cooled off in this series. His first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. And we're going to get a mound visit from catcher Carlos Martinez. Broken bat up the middle of base hit for Hayden Jaco. The Baycats starting a rally here, 2-on to lead off the 5th inning. And Carson Burns will step in. He had a base hit his last time up.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Jaco getting just enough of that pitch from Bradwell. Tyler Dupuis, the second baseman, couldn't quite catch up to the slow roller. Third baseman Ethan Hunt still playing shallow defense at third base. Let's see what the strategy here is from Carson Burns.
Sometimes.
First pitch strike.
Sometimes those change-ups from James Bradwell can go outside the zone. If you're Carson Burns, you need to be wary of that chase pitch from Bradwell.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Bradwell has 4 pitches in his arsenal, but only uses 2 for the most part. 0-1 pitch to Burns. Inside, ball 1.
He's a guy that does use his secondary pitches as he gets ahead in the count. So if he goes up 1-2, that's going to be his chase pitch.
And this is a little bit of a wider zone from the home plate umpire. As we've seen throughout the night, it's been consistent, but wider than you might see in other matchups.
That's consistent with where he was earlier in the series, too, so both teams knew what to expect.
That one outside for ball 2.
And if an umpire is consistent game to game, then you have a scouting report on him, and you don't have to do as much establishing of your pitches early on. You can just go in knowing that's where the strike zone is going to be, and then move on early.
Yes, absolutely. Even if you especially as a pitcher, you know if you have some kind of recognition with the umpire, you kind of have an idea of where you can put your pitches. Burns swings and misses, even set the count at 2-2. Still nobody out here for the Baycats. 2 on. Malik Williams at second, Hayden Jaco at first.
By the way, I'm hearing from the great Spencer Tangway there was no fan bus. So these Welland fans, they're traveling to see this team. It's impressive.
Cut on and miss. Carson Burns down swinging for the first out. Good on them. They've been very hyped about their team throughout the whole season, especially with the Jackfish winning the IBL pennant this year and making a run to the finals. We saw the atmosphere in Welland throughout this series, and they got great fan engagement and great atmosphere at Welland Stadium. Avery Tuck steps in, struck out his first time up. Ethan Hunt still playing shallow at third base. First pitch, called strike 1. Fans here at Vintage Throne Stadium not happy with that call, but just caught the outside part of the plate.
Keeping an eye on the chat here on Baycats TV. Glad to have all of you here watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the game, and if you're a Baycats fan, hopefully you're enjoying the game despite the score so far.
Ball 1 there to Avery Tuck. Bradwell working a bit more patiently as his outing continues. This is 5th inning of work. 1-1 pitch to Avery Tuck. Tuck fouls out of the play. Modest leads for both base runners as Bradwell comes set. 1-2 pitch to Tuck. Fouls it off the glove of Martinez, staying alive.
Again, was just behind that one. Bradwell's velo so far has fooled the Baycats.
Definitely contention for what we might think IBL Finals MVP.
He's who I would give it to so far. It's not my award to give, but if it was.
Definitely a contender as he comes in with a 1-2. On the ground foul, Tuck. Nice 2-strike approach here. Staying alive. Kyle Maves, number 9 hitter on deck. Only the second time tonight the Baycats have had a runner in scoring position. Maves was that man in the 3rd inning. One-two to Tuck. Strong on and miss. Another strikeout for James Bradwell on Avery Tuck. 2 down.
The left fielder, number 6.
4th strikeout of the ball game for James Bradwell. Seemingly unfazed by the 2 runners on behind him.
And it's the same sort of thing as we saw last game. He wasn't getting a lot of strikeouts early on. He was getting ground outs and flyouts, keeping that pitch count low. And as the game went on, he started striking out more and more batters. He's just a very, very impressive right-hander. And the Baycats right now have an opportunity to get a couple of runs off him. They cannot waste this. It's crucial.
Shallow defense again from Hunt at third base, even with 2 out, as Kyle Maves sees the first pitch inside.
It's hard to say a 5th inning at-bat is crucial compared to a late innings at-bat, but you have a couple of runners on right now against a guy who you really have not seen well as a team. Couple on, 2 out now. This is maybe the biggest at-bat of the game. You're already down by a bunch.
It's been a key point for the Baycats throughout this series as Maves fouls that one to the screen, 1-1. Baycats have had plenty of runners on throughout this series. The last time they were here at Vintage Throne Stadium, they had runners on in every inning, but were only able to muster 2 runs. They still haven't scored more than 2 runs in an inning or had a lead of more than 2 runs. Hard road ahead of them here in the 5th inning. A 1-1 pitch coming. On the outside corner for strike 2. Williams at second base had a strong secondary lead there.
Got mostly average speed at second, pretty average speed at first as well with Aiden Jacob.
Maves trying to get the Baycats on the board. Bradwell's 1-2. Fouled out of play. This game's gone by at a pretty good pace so far. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, about an hour and a half in. I think that's been a trend throughout this entire series. We've had some fairly quick ball games. Another 1-2 coming here. On the ground foul. Maeve staying alive here with a strong 2-strike approach. Two on, 2 out here. Kyle Maves waggles the bat. Another pitch coming. Outside, ball 2.
That's a good take right there. A very important take. If you're swinging at that, you're probably only going to make weak contact.
Yeah, not a pitch you can put any good wood on. Kyle Maves staying patient despite being up against the wall here, 2-2. Pitch from Bradwell. Chopped into left field. It's sinking, but over to make the catch is Mateo Porcelato to end the inning. Baycats get 2 on, but nobody out, but straying both runners as we head to the 6th inning. Jackfish up 7-0 on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood
Premier
Brewery
North
at 10 Sanford Fleming is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats. Locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wilkes, owner of Insightful Living and licensed provider of Brain Echo technology, which aims to calm and balance the brain. If any of these troublesome things are troubling you, then I'm talking to the appropriate person now.
Top of the 6th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium, and it's brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge. Experience the tradition of quality service in a relaxed environment, redefining gentlemen in the heart of Barrie.
In the heart of Barrie. Hitting off the 6th inning for the Jackfish is number 33, the catcher, Carlos Martinez.
Heard there from PA announcer Rob Daniels. Carlos Martinez leading it off for the Jackfish here in the 6th inning. Sees a first pitch strike. It'll be Tyler Dupuis, the second baseman, and Hogan Brown, the right fielder, due up in the 6th inning as well. Brendan Hillier in his 4th inning of work. 1-1 the count now on Martinez as that one's outside.
If the score does hold in this game, stay tuned after the game for the trophy presentation on the field. Commissioner Ted Callens and PA announcer Rob Daniels will have that for you. Kyle Braden and Sam O'Coin helping out behind the scenes, as well as Dylan Quinn, our producer, and Juliet Mason, our production assistant, helping out with the broadcast of that. Obviously, we're hoping that that's all Welland's problem tomorrow night when they give Barrie the trophy, but it looks, as of right now, if the score holds, that the Welland Jackfish might be the one celebrating tonight, and we will have that for you if it does happen right here on Baycats TV.
Well, it seems like the issue for the Baycats has been they haven't been able to prove that they can put up the same amount of runs in this series at all. They have not had the run support for their pitching staff as Welland has.
Well, you look at...
Flown into center field, charging in his Ejo, and he makes the catch, diving in center field to rob Carlos Martinez.
You look at the way Welland scored 6 of their 7 runs. It was in the first 3 innings.
Yes.
And we have 3 innings left in this game. So just going based on that, it is very possible for the Baycats to score 7 runs. But they just have not been able to get anything going against James Bradwell.
Fantastic catch from Kenise Ejo there in center field. Robbing Carlos Martinez of a base hit.
I'll tell you what, though, the player of the game so far in this game is Brandon Hillier. He's come in, really slowed down this Jackfish offense and kept the Baycats in the game.
Absolutely, and I think, especially in that blowout win, Game 3, on the ground is short here. Carson Burns, an easy pickup. High throw, but a nice tag applied by Malik Williams for the second out.
And you got to remember, too, that just a couple of days ago, Hillier came in and pitched an inning in 2/3. So he is one of the more tired arms in this bullpen. But they had to go back out to him today for some big innings, and he's done the job really well so far.
Yeah, he's really settled down the Jackfish offense. And as I was just about to say, we saw in that blowout win in Game 3, and even in this game, Jackfish have had a game plan of scoring early and often, and they've executed that against the Baycats. Home runs in the first inning of both those games. As Hogan Brown stepping in here, 2 out, fouls off the first pitch. Hillier working quickly here. 0-1 pitch, high and away.
This will not be one of my better scorebooks of the season.
1-1 to Brown. Strike 2.
Jeff Rose had a wider strike zone than average, as we saw earlier in the series, but it has been good and it has been consistent today.
That one just low, count even up at 2-2.
Same spot. That's consistent with where it's been all game.
Hogan Brown started the series around the top of the order for the Jackfish, but with the emergence of guys like Sam Cocker, James Smyber, he's been moved down and those guys moved up. As that one's high, it's a full count now.
They've been using Gio Morello at the top of the order.
Yeah,
he's really your typical leadoff guy.
And he's definitely earned that spot in their lineup. Tons of speed, and he's been able to make a lot of contact, get on base. 3-2 pitch.
Nothing
fouled off
at all against Hogan Brown, but I was really surprised to see Gianfranco Morello not in the leadoff spot at any point this season for the Jackfish. We saw him up in the leadoff spot a lot last season. He looked really good there. They're using him around the middle and the bottom of the order, but he's a guy that really is a very, very good leadoff guy.
3-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. And I would have expected Hogan Brown to be, your typical two-hitter. He has plenty of Division I NCAA experience. One of the more experienced guys and most talented guys on this roster.
Really is hard to argue with Steven Moretto up there right now, though.
Absolutely, plenty of power numbers, especially in this series, couple home runs. 3-2 pitch, another foul ball. Hogan Brown getting the pitch count on Brandon Hillier up. Hillier came in the third inning after Porcelato's second home run of the game took Evan Souls out. Trying to put away the Jackfish in the sixth inning. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Hogan Brown strikes out a 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Hillier. As we head to the bottom of the sixth inning, the Jackfish maintain a 7-0 lead on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the sixth here at Vintage Throne Stadium, the Baycats trying to come back from a 7-0 deficit here in Game 6. Backs against the wall in a must-win IBL Finals game. Just joining us, scoring started in the first inning. Sam Cocker with an RBI single, and then Mateo Porcelato with a three-run home run. Porcelato added on another 2-run home run in the third inning, and then Hogan Brown scored on an error in the fourth inning, giving the Jackfish a 7-0 lead as James Bradwell continues his outing. Knee Joe led off the Baycats game, or Baycats offense with a base hit in the first inning. It was caught stealing and struck out in the third inning.
Group of kids trying to get everybody into it here. It's not over yet.
That one's lined up the middle, but right at center fielder Gio Morello for the first out.
He just had some good swings today.
Yeah, that one was a very hard hit ball, but just didn't get down. It hung up for Gio Morello. It's the thing about baseball, you can hit the ball as hard as you want, but if it's right at the defenders, it's all for naught.
Yep.
Adam Oz steps in, he takes first pitch strike. Action continues in the Barrie bullpen. Brendan Hillier has worked great on the mound in relief of Evan Souls. Odd grounds it hard to first base, but nice pick there by Steven Moretto for out number 2.
I tell you what, one thing that's really impressed me overall all series long has been the Welland Jackfish defense.
Absolutely.
Especially the infield defense, but also the outfield defense. You go to center field, shortstop, second base, third base, there's just no holes. They're all very, very good defenders, and it's really, really hard to get anything by them.
They've really managed to decrease the errors on defense. That one's grounded to third base. Hard play for Dupuis, sliding over. He can't make the play as Roy Sando keeps the inning alive with a base hit.
On cue.
On cue. But you definitely make a great point there. Even when the Jackfish have made an error, it's only been a couple of times in this series. They've bounced back from them and not been able to be penalized for them. You know, stranding base runners has been a key stat for this Jackfish pitching staff, starters and relievers. Like we mentioned, game 4 here in Barrie, the Baycats had base runners in every inning, but were only able to muster 2 runs. So Ryan Rio steps in, he grounds it foul, first base side.
Lucas B in the chat says, as a Welland Jackfish fan, can I have a shout out, please? And I have to tell Lucas B, absolutely not.
Ryan Rio has been struggling in these IBL finals. 0-1 pitch, down and away. A bat that the Baycats were hoping would carry them a bit more in this series, but hasn't shown up much. He's had a career year in the regular season, career highs in home runs and RBIs. Just flies that one in the center field, but Morello over there making an easy catch to end the inning. We head to the 7th inning, 7-0 the score for the Welland Jackfish. 3 innings away from their first IBL championship here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Top of the 7th year, Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka. Making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca. Back on play-by-play for the rest of the ball game, Mr. Patrick Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Julius Hern. Owen Jansen in right field now for the Baycats, taking over defensively for Avery Tuck. Brendan Hillier still out there on the mound.
It's the third baseman, number 9, Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt will lead things off. Bottom of the order, then the top, as that one got away from Hillier. It's a ball, 1-0.
You can make the case, and I think you would agree with me, Patrick, this is probably Brendan Hillier's strongest outing of the season.
I think it's his strongest outing, maybe as a Baycat since returning to the team in 2021. That's grounded to third. Nice pick by Odd. Throw on to first, and it gets away from Williams. Hunt bumps into the umpire on his way to second, but he's going to make it there easily anyway. One of those things that just makes you shake your head.
Well, Adam Odd had much more time to make that throw than I think he realized. He made that backhand pick and then just kind of threw almost immediately, and too far in front of first base for Malik Williams to have a chance to pick that one.
And I think Adam Odd would agree. Oh, yeah. All you can do now is just put that one behind you and move on. He's been an excellent defender around the diamond this season. Here's Morello, the leadoff hitter in the top of the order for the Jackfish. That's a bunt, left side, foul. Picked up by Jaco in foul territory. Morello comes back.
Talking about Hillier's performance tonight, he's only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk, and one of those runners scoring on him. A strong performance here tonight, but the Baycats unable to put up.
He's been in since the early innings.
Yeah, he came in the 3rd inning, got both outs, or both batters he faced in that 3rd inning to get out of a jam.
If he can get through this one, then you only have 2 innings to cover, and you could maybe bring in Brad Gravison, Aiden Russell. You don't have to worry about the bulk guys anymore. On the ground, and that one gets through, and Morello has himself a base hit. Ethan Hunt over to 3rd, and 2 straight base runners to open the 7th inning.
Yeah, unfortunate circumstances there for Adam Ott. He was ranging over to his right on the pitch there, and that ball just hit to his left as he was shifting over. So unable to get back and have a play on that ball.
So now here's Steven Moretto. Runners on the corners, nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Welland trying to add on to a 7-0 lead. Welland leads the series 3-2 if you missed it. And if they win this game, they are the IBL champions. A lot of fans have come down from Welland to potentially watch that moment in person. And we hope if you're watching at the watch party in Welland at Tailgates Grill and Bar that you're enjoying this game as well. Here's the 1-0. That's outside. You can see the crowd there. The right side mostly full of Baycats fans. And then we go down the middle, and it starts to get a little more mixed, but still mostly Baycats fans. And then when you go further left than that, it's a lot of green outside. Count now 3-0 to Steve Moretto. Someone running down to the bullpen right now. Is that Chris Cox?
It is.
So Chris Cox potentially starting to get loose in that pen. At least going down there. 3-0 as the Baycats try and keep Steven Moretto off the base pass, and they won't be able to. That's a walk. Bases loaded, nobody out, and it looks like Hillier's running out of the steam. He has been excellent today for the Baycats, but now Josh Matlow out from the bullpen. And it looks like we'll have a new pitcher here in Game 6 of the IBL Finals. We'll step away for a moment. You're watching the IBL Finals on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats.
2 out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Real behind him.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand.
New pitcher for the Baycats, left-hander Aiden Russell. Russell coming in with the bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch, a strike to James Smybert. And Julius Hern, Aiden Russell has been a very reliable lefty out of the bullpen across the last 3 seasons for the Barrie Baycats. On the ground, could be 2, but it won't be any. Under the glove of Roy Sando, 1 run scores. Baycats don't get to the ball quickly enough. 2 runs score. And nothing Aiden Russell could do about that. He got a weak grounder and 2 runs score.
Well, Russell hasn't appeared in the postseason so far, but in the regular season, he was able to pitch. He was pitched to a 6.65 ERA, so he struggled a little bit. Especially, early in the season. He had a couple opener starts, or that probably wasn't his strong suit, but he had some moments, in one inning outings that he was able to shine in.
High drive, right field, over the head of Owen Jansen, just in on defense. 1 run is going to score. The runner behind, Moretto, stays at third. Smybert up to second. Moretto scores. Smybert up to third. And Sam Cocker with a big double. He stays hot. And the Baycats are down 10-0. So Mateo Porcelato batting now with runners on second and third. Aiden Russell came in, got a weak ground ball. 2 runs scored off that because of a defensive miscue, and now another one's come in off hard contact over the head of the right fielder. And I can tell you one thing for certain, even without being down there, nobody on the Baycats is happy right now.
Yeah, I see Brad Grieveson and another arm throwing already in the Baycats bullpen, so already not looking good.
Outside and low. The Barrie Baycats, an extraordinarily talented team, have come out all season long with so much heart and competitive games all season long, including all through this series. This has not gone the way they expected or wanted it to go. 2-0. That's a ball. Count now 3-0 to Porcelato. And credit to the Welland Jackfish, who came in this series. They were down 2-0. Brian Essery said, hey, we need to make some changes to this lineup. They got some great pitching performances, including from James Bradwell early in the series, as that's ball 4 to load the bases. And the pitching stayed really good. The hitting woke up more and more as we got along through the series. And now, for the second time in the series, the Jackfish put up a huge number where the Baycats have really not been able to respond at all.
It's almost seems like it's been an exact repeat almost of Game 3. Like, Jackfish scoring early and often, a huge home run in the first inning. They're up double digits going into the late innings. Baycats just haven't been able to score runs at all. James Bradwell has been pitching amazingly so far. It just seems like a carbon copy of Game 3, and that's a tough way to go out if this is it for the Baycats.
And to add to that,
now batting for the Jackfish, catcher number 33, Carlos Martinez.
Carlos Martinez batting now. To add to that, if the Jackfish do run into any trouble, not only do they have their whole bullpen available tonight, but they also have Ben Abram and Jake Harford available. 0-1 to Martinez, swinging strike from Russell. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Doesn't seem like the velocity here from Russell is fooling anybody. All the Jackfish hitters he's faced so far have really picked up on it early. Not a guy who's going to blow you away with speed, but he really relies on his pitch placement, and that's probably been the biggest struggle for him so far this year.
Left center field. That one's going to go down and get all the way to the wall. 1 run in, 2 runs in. Third runner is going to have to stay at third. That's Porcelato, but 2 more runs score. And you're starting to hear the boos at Vintage Throne Stadium. A double for Carlos Martinez. And now 5 runs in this inning. The next 2 have reached base. And now Tyler Dupuis will bat with nobody out, and it won't be against Aiden Russell. Someone new coming in from the bullpen will tell you all about it. When we come back, you're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wilkes, owner of Insightful Living and licensed provider of Brain Echo Technology, which aims to calm and balance the brain. If any of these troublesome things are troubling you, then I'm talking to the appropriate person now. Don't
Welcome back. Chris Cox taking to the mound. Bases loaded, or excuse me, 2 on, nobody out. The bases were loaded for the majority of this inning. It is Mateo Portolato at third, Carlos Martinez at second, Tyler Dupuis at the plate facing off Julius against new pitcher Chris Cox.
Chris Cox has had one postseason appearance so far. It was really rough, but the runners and runs against weren't charged to him. So not much to speak of there, but in the regular season, 10 innings pitched in 7 appearances, a 5.4 ERA. 7 strikeouts, 10 walks.
One and 0. Two and 0.
This is pretty much what we saw in the first appearance for Chris Cox in the postseason. Just wildly unable to catch the strike zone, and in that appearance he hit a couple batters and only had to face 3 batters because it was just too wild.
There's a strike. Cox finds the strike zone, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike.
The line on Brandon Hilliard tonight, 3 2/3, 2 walks, 2 hits allowed, 4 runs allowed, but 2 of them were earned.
He pitched much better than that would suggest, too.
Yeah, he was the pitcher who started this inning, faced 3 batters, was unable to make an out.
Aiden Russell came in, inherited a couple of those runners, was not able to make an out. Pitcher number 3 of the inning, still nobody out. That's outside and low, 3-2.
Chris Cox, like you mentioned, inheriting 2 base runners from Aiden Russell.
Brandon Hillier pitched very well tonight. Much, much better than that line score would suggest. Swing and a miss. And there is finally one away in the inning. That'll bring up Hogan Brown, who will be the 9th batter of the inning to bat.
Everyone on the infield playing shallow. I know it's a 12-run game, but you know, Baycats quickly realizing they can't let in any more runs.
This is starting to sound a bit like a Welland home game.
It is. You know, even with that strikeout, it just seemed like the fans were sarcastically cheering for that strikeout. Not been a good inning so far for Baycats fans.
Fouled away. Now suddenly Chris Cox starting to find the strike zone a little bit more, looking more competitive with his pitches. I would say this is a big out here and a big couple outs to get, but frankly, for it to be a big couple outs to get, the Baycats will need to make this game much more competitive after it too. That's outside. The Jackfish just bullying the Baycats here tonight. Inside and low, 3-1. Chris Cox has now gone 3 balls on another batter.
Yeah, Jackfish just pouring it on here. It was 7-0 coming into this inning, and now 12-0.
Swing and a miss, 3-2. Well, Cox hasn't had his best command tonight, but he's had some good deception. Got Dupuis swinging on a strikeout, and now full to Hogan Brown. That last pitch was pretty nasty.
You know, it's something good that Cox can use against batters. You can use his lack of velocity to deceive batters, like you mentioned.
And that's something Chris Cox, you have to believe, has been frustrated with. He had a lot of velocity earlier on in his career, but has dealt with injuries that have really prevented him from using his proper windup, becoming 100%. Now a very arm-forward delivery where a lot of the stress is on his arm rather than his legs. And it has affected the velo. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third. Kicks comes home. On the ground, up the middle, base hit. Cox covers the plate as Ejo has to run in and get it. 1 run in. Throw is going to be late. Throw is going to be high. Throw is going to be cut off and pushed offside as 2 more runs come in for the Jackfish. It's a base hit for Hogan Brown. Second time on base today, and they will bat around.
So that'll finish the line score on Aiden Russell. All 4 batters he faced eventually coming in to score, allowing two hits and a walk.
We have seen Aiden Russell pitch extraordinarily well, as he did essentially across both his first full seasons in the IBL. Aiden Russell has not looked nearly as sharp in the postseason this year, unfortunately. That's a strike. Yeah, now 0-2. That'll be inside. No, that's strike 3. Hunt doesn't like it, and it's hard to blame him.
That was actually kind of a nasty pitch there from Chris Cox. You know, we hadn't seen him use that breaking ball yet in this outing, and pulling it out there on 2-strike count just fooled Ethan Hunt.
So now Gianfranco Morello. Swing and a miss on a pitch up high. Cox getting into the groove now. Other than the walk, Cox looked pretty good. I mean, the 2 runs scored off weak contacts. Jeff Rose dusting the plate, now going back behind the dish.
Baycats fans have stuck around here really trying to get back into it, kind of dueling the Welland fans and chanting.
Welland has added 7. They have doubled their score this inning.
This is their 11th batter of this inning. It's just a nightmare inning and probably game overall for Josh Mallow and the Barrie Baycats. not what anybody expected.
It's coming at the wrong time. Swing and a miss. Morello down on strikes. So Chris Cox pitches pretty well. And it's time to stretch here at the ballpark. 14-0 Wellands.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Malik Williams will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was about a million years ago we gave you the sponsor for this inning, so let's let you know again about United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca. Malik Williams facing off against James Bradwell. Weak grounder to short. James Smybert to Steven Moretto. Hayden Jaco now 1 for 2. Singled in the 5th inning, grounded out in the 2nd. First pitch to Jaco is just high. Fouled into the stands. Goes into the trees. And now the race begins. And some dreamers at the end think they still have a chance to get that when some of those kids started 30 seconds ago. Swing and a weak foul down to the dugout. Welland's dugout on the left side, very eager for what looks to be ahead, the trophy presentation at the end of this game. Baycats need 15 to prevent that being the case. They say he didn't go.
I'd be curious to see how long that last half inning took. Be curious to see how long that last half inning took. Wasn't really keeping track of it, but like you said, Patrick, seemed like a million years ago we gave that sponsor tag at the top of the inning.
High and deep to center field. Back at the wall. Makes the catch. That's Gianfranco Morello out there, and there's 2 away. Someone's out to warm up in the bullpen because we just saw Domenico Morea run down to be the catcher. Someone just turned the media booth lights off for a moment. That's a base hit up the middle for Carson Burns. Second hit of the day for him today.
There's nobody throwing in the Baycats bullpen at the moment, but it looks like Brad Grieveson is on standby.
Here's Owen Jansen, first at bat for Jansen since coming as a defensive replacement at the beginning of the 7th inning, which feels like about 3 hours ago. And we're going to blame Julius for that because he was the one that said the game was moving along quickly. That's fouled away.
My bad, Patrick. Sorry with that. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'd love to know how long that last half inning took because it was, way different than the rest of the game had been going, and it just seems like it took everything out of this crowd, even on both sides too. Like, just felt like it was dragging on.
Let's not hold back on the fact half the game's been really fast because James Bradwell's just overpowered basically everybody on the Barrie Baycats tonight.
Absolutely, and only 4 strikeouts in the night. He does have plenty of velocity and lots, options in his pitch arsenal, but Baycats have been making contact, and that's been, the defense, like you mentioned earlier in the game, the defense for the Jackfish has been very strong tonight and throughout this series.
Swing and a miss. That'll end the inning. Jansen down on strikes. Baycats get a runner to first. Do not score. As we head to the 8th inning. Well, and 2 innings away from a potential championship win.
Be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Eighth inning of play is being brought to you by
8th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie, Air, Land, and Sea Vacations.
It'll be Moretto, then James Smybert and Sam Cocker in the inning. Assuming they don't pinch hit for anybody. There are changes defensively for the Baycats. First pitch gets away from Jaco. Now in at third, Brant Fianfonte. Now in at first, Domenico Morea. Foul down the left field side. Congratulations to the 50-50 winner. Took home upwards of $1,500. Pretty good.
Highest jackpot of the year here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Swinging a weak grounder to the left side. Carson Burns on the run. Throw on a first. Nice play by Carson Burns. 1 out. Chris Cox has quietly pitched really, really well late in this game.
Yeah, he came in, trying to clean up the damage in the 7th inning. He ended up striking out the side, only allowing 1 hit. Faced 4 batters, gave up the 1 hit, struck out the other 3. And after a shaky first couple pitches when he came into the game, he's really settled down nicely.
Nobody in the bullpen for the Welland Jackfish even now, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see James Bradford, or Bradwell, just pitch the rest of the way. He's looked excellent. His pitch count not very high.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. I think he's definitely earned the ability to go and finish this off for the Jackfish.
I agree. 1 out of Smybert. Right center field, not hit hard. E. Joe moving to his left and moving in, and he makes the catch. 2 quick outs in the inning.
Now batting for the Jackfish, the designated hitter, number 16, Sam Cocker.
Sam Cocker, double and a single today, as well as another single, but he was rolled out on a 4-6-3 double play. Pitch up and in to Sam Cocker.
The only base runner to not score for the Jackfish tonight has been Tyler Dupuis, but that coming after. He hasn't been on base yet today. We might see him in the 9th inning.
That's a base hit. There has not been a 1-2-3 inning since the 5th inning for the Baycats against the Jackfish.
I think that's another reason we're praising Brandon Hillier. He had 2 1-2-3 innings, the 5th and 6th.
Porcelato has scored thrice tonight. A couple of home runs, and he also walked and scored. He's also ground into a double play. Porcelato is just not fooled by Evan Souls one bit. Up and away. Would like to give a shout out to our producer tonight, Dylan Quinn, who has done an excellent job. Had a lot to learn this week and has really been excellent, not just producing tonight, but at all the roles we've asked him to help with all season long. And he has had a lot of different roles, and he's done them all very, very well. So a big shout out to Dylan. That's way outside. I remember you and Dylan both came to the Baycats this season at the beginning of the year, and you came to our media day, and you mentioned that you knew each other, and my first thought was, oh gosh, what if you don't like each other? But you guys have both been great. You've worked together super well. You're both in the booth this season for the first ever Baycats TV broadcast without either me or Ben in it, and it's just been an absolute pleasure having you both on the Baycats media team this season.
I appreciate that.
On the ground. Could be 2, won't be 2. It'll be too late, but Carson Burns with a nice job to get it to first base. And they didn't need 2 anyway. The inning is over. Heading to the bottom of the 8th. Barrie trying to put something on the board. This Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats.
2 out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand.
Kyle Maves to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th inning. 14-0 Welland here as we're inching closer to the finale moments of this series. A potential trophy celebration following the final out tonight if Welland can keep a 14-run lead. I mean, it's going to be tough. One of the hardest things to do in baseball is to keep a 14-run lead. James Bradwell has been excellent again tonight.
He absolutely has. 7 innings pitched into his 8th inning of work. 5 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, only 1 walk. Shut out the Baycats tonight so far.
In hockey, some would frown at you for using the word shutout and jinxing it. I don't think anybody would be that bothered.
Probably not, no.
I was once calling hockey right here on Rogers TV Barrie, and we're coming down to the final, the final 5 minutes of the game. And I mentioned the goalie it's a shutout right now. And my broadcast, and I was kind of, it wasn't that close a game, so I was kind of just automatically calling play-by-play. I wasn't paying too much attention to what I was saying. Here's 2-2. That's up and away. And a second after I say shutout, my broadcast partner looks at me and goes, "You just said the S word." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm just going like, did I swear? Did I swear on the I didn't think I swore. And then for the next 5 or however many minutes there were of the game, I'm thinking in my mind, the back of my mind is like, did I just swear? That's not good, as Maves walks. And then 10 minutes after the game, when my anxiety is at the top because I'm worried that I swore on a TV broadcast, I bring aside my broadcast partner and go like, did I swear in that game? And he goes like, no, the S word is shutout. And I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. You didn't jinx it though, did you?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah,
That's
they
bad.
scored like 30 seconds after I said the word shutouts. But you can't ask on air if you swore. That's up and in. And there are no inning breaks in hockey or anything like that. Right. It was the third. There wasn't that much time left, so there were no commercials. It was very stressy 20 minutes for me there. Because I didn't think I would swear, even if I was kind of mindlessly doing the play-by-play in a not close game. Up and in, that's a strike.
We see it all the time in football with field goals.
Yeah.
The kicker.
He has not missed one all season long.
It almost seems like the announcer's asking for it.
Swing and a miss from Joe. 1-2. Yeah, maybe he doesn't like the guy.
No.
I've heard kickers and punters, because they're so isolated from the rest of the bench, can be very introverted, and maybe that rubs some TV guys the wrong way.
Maybe.
That's down low. I don't think so, though. I mean, if you didn't like me and I was a field goal kicker, would you try and jinx me on purpose?
I mean, I would, probably not on purpose, but, if
you wouldn't be that careful about whether you'd say.
If something's worth bringing up, you got to bring it up.
Up the middle, Tyler Dupuis to James Smyber. Gets the first one. They're late on the second one. An excellent turn there. So 1 out.
Third baseman number 8, Barrie Infante.
So here's Barrie Infante, first at-bat of the game for him. He came in as a defensive replacement in the top half of this inning. Infante, Morea, Jansen have all come in for Odd, Williams, and Tuck, respectively.
Infante, it's only his 5th game of the postseason so far. He's 2 for 14. With 2 RBI, though. His last appearance came on that night of Game 3. Came in as a position player pitching.
Yeah, they're not going to be using a position player pitching tonight, but you're right. It was a similar game up until that point. Just trying to get caught up on the chat here to see if there's anything worth bringing up. Not that the other stuff isn't worth bringing up, but, you know, you have to weave things into conversations.
It's that kind of game tonight.
2-1 to Brantford Infante.
Looks like the party's already started down the line near the Jackfish dugout.
That's down the way. Okay, let's look up here. I'm not seeing any questions or anything we can weave into the broadcast, but we appreciate everybody sticking in with us and have a good time in the chat. 3-2 to Brantford Infante. We have over 1,000 viewers tonight. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for spending tonight with us, whether you're a Baycats fan or you're a Welland Jackfish fan waiting to see your team hold the IBL trophy, the Jack and Lynn Dominico Cup. 3-2 on the ground, left side, foul. Someone in the chat mentions, quote, "This is history for our city to be close to winning its first title versus the dynasty team of the league. Let's not let anyone take away from this great series." And he is absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Other than the fact that it's not our city from our perspective, Welland about to win their first championship since becoming the Welland Jackfish and moving to Welland. They have done a phenomenal job this series. Battling back from down 2-0. They've gotten contributions from all around the batting order and tons of members of their pitching staff. And Julius, if they win this game, they have earned the title.
Absolutely. And you can't take that away from them at all. The turning point in this series was definitely the Game 4. Them coming back in that 9th inning, that really turned it around for their team. They were a strike away from going down 3-1. And that looked like to swing all the momentum in their favor, and they carried that into finishing off that win, Game 5 win, and what looks to be Game 6 win here tonight to clinch it.
I mean, it's not over till it's over.
Correct.
Baycats need a 15 spot. Swinging a ground ball to the left side, foul. Picked up by the third base coach of the Welland Jackfish. Excuse me, the third base coach of the Barrie Baycats. It's Andrew White. You see, when the Jackfish are on defense, the Jackfish coaches are not also out there. And Andrew White is wearing a navy blue shirt, so a couple of hints for me right there. That is strike 3 looking, and safe at first is Kinesijo. He almost got picked off. Infante down on strikes. That'll wrap Royce Ando.
Brendan Underhill is throwing in the Jackfish bullpen, but if it were me making the decisions for the Jackfish, this looks like it's Bradwell's game to carry out.
Underhill has been one of their top relievers throughout the postseason. It's hard to call him their ace reliever because Davey Mendez exists, but he hasn't been that far off. The broadcast will continue after the final pitch. We'll have ceremonies, the final home game of the Barrie Baycats season, and the trophy presentation after the game, provided the score, the lead doesn't change hands, I should say. The score might change. He drops it. A pop-up. He fell back and he dropped it. Echo up to third, and the Baycats again hoping for a run tonight.
Yeah, not sure if Dupuis lost that one in the lights. It looked like he was spinning around trying to make that play behind first base. He was probably in the best position to end up making that out, but spun himself around a bit too much, lost sight of it, and couldn't come up with it.
And a very tough play, so I'd be surprised if they give him an error on that, and on cue they do. So it's the end of the season. I don't have to look at Gary for that much longer, so I can yell out to Gary. I think that was a hit. Gary didn't hear me. That's fouled away. In all seriousness, though, I'd like to shout out Gary as well. He's done an excellent job as our statistician and official scorer for all Baycats home games all season long. I also like to give a shout out to Nil Sriwastawa, who pinch hit for Gary just a couple of times throughout the season. Both of them have done an exceptional job keeping the stats. The Baycats have scored a run. A base hit up the middle, and Ryan Rio has himself a single. Lots of cheering as Kanisi Joe scores.
I think all the more important for that to be Ryan Rio driving in that runner from third base. Looks like we might get the pitching change.
And now Julius, they only need 14. And a big round of applause for James Bradwell, who will leave the field, give a point down to Brandon Underhill saying, hey, the rest of this game is yours. He gets handshakes from the rest of his Welland Jackfish teammates, including Sam Cocker. And the Welland side of this park gives him a massive standing ovation. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll break down Brandon Underhill. 2 on, 2 out.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Dom Murray will lead things off as Welland is 1 inning and 1 out away from winning the Jack and Lynn Dominico Cup trophy.
New pitcher for the Jackfish is Brandon Underhill, making his 6th appearance of the postseason. Comes in with a 2.45 ERA in the postseason, 7 1/3 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts to 2 walks, and a 1-0 record.
Down in from Underhill. Runners advance. I don't think that'll be scored defensive indifference, but might as well be.
Probably a pass ball on catcher.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Defensive indifference is a official scoring term.
Yes.
But and it didn't apply there, but I think we can say that the Jackfish were indifferent to the defense.
Yes.
On that play.
So. I guess this will be the last pitcher the Jackfish will probably use. Underhill closing this one out, I would assume. Davey Mendez pitched 2 2/3 last night.
Swing and a miss.
In Game 5.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The Baycats threatened in the 7th inning of that game, and they decided to bring in their closer, and he ended up with a save. Excuse me, he ended up getting the win, I believe.
Kicks, comes home, swing and a miss, but he just got a piece of it, so it's not a swing and a miss. He stays alive, 1-2. Jackfish looking for their first title in IBL history.
just correct myself there. Davey Mendez in Game 5, 2 2/3 innings, getting the win in that one. Coming into the 7th inning and shutting down the Baycats in that inning.
Here's the 1-2 to Dom Maria, and that's outside. 2-2. Welland Jackfish moved from Burlington. Swing and a miss. Underhill got him, and we'll continue that story a little bit. They moved from Burlington starting in 2019. They were the Jackfish, and now they're 1 out away from their first title. We'll come back, tell you more about that on Baycats TV.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go, ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and
and the score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
We head into the 9th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Jackfish an inning away from claiming their first IBL title. This 9th inning brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie, air, land, and sea vacations.
If you look at the history of this Welland Jackfish team, it goes back many, many years. One of the early teams of the IBL was in Stratford, and across the 1900s, they won 14 titles. They then moved to Mississauga after they were sold in the late 2000s, in 2009. Stats hit to left, jumped by Branfy and Fonte, one away. And then a couple years later, they were sold and moved again to Burlington, where they played as the Bandits in 2011, all the way down to 2016. Then they changed their name to the Herd in 2017 and 2018. The Welland Jackfish have plaques up, or I guess framed photos, I should say, as Cox throws, and that is sky to right center field. Icho and Jansen, neither one catches it. Up to second goes Dupuis with his first hit of the day. Everybody's got a hit now. In the media booth for the Welland Jackfish, there are framed photos commemorating the time as the Burlington Bandits and the Burlington Herd. Neither the Bandits nor the Herd won a title, nor did the team in Mississauga, where the modern history of this franchise begins. Since then, they have been waiting on their first IBL title. Now they are 3 outs away in the Welland Jackfish era, which started in 2019, from doing so. And finally, under the first time as the Welland Jackfish, and for the first time in this franchise history, since the modern version of this franchise, they would be the IBL champions. 1 out to Hogan Brown. So they won 14 titles as the classic Stratford team. And then in the modern era, in the Mississauga, Burlington, Welland era, they are yet to win one. They've been to the playoffs several times, but they've never gotten all the way there. Tonight, they can change that. Cox's pitch is outside. That'll be a passed ball, maybe even a wild pitch. Run scores, 15-0. Excuse me, 15-1. It's been that kind of night.
Tyler Dupuis scoring there. He is the final batter in the starting lineup for the Jackfish to score a run. Everyone in the Jackfish lineup has scored a run tonight.
Nobody feels left out. Least of all Brandon Underhill, who will likely take the mounds in 2 outs time to try and seal this game and give the Welland Jackfish their first title and give the city of Welland an IBL championship. We'd like to thank all the fans watching in Wellands, whether you're at the watch party or elsewhere. We'd like to thank the Welland broadcasters, Alec Murray and Spencer Tangway, as well as their public address announcer, Rod Mahood, for their excellent work on the media side, as well as all of their behind-the-scenes crew across the playoffs and this final series. Alec and Spencer did an excellent job. That's a walk. And that'll bring up Ethan Hunt. And Julius, as we come to the final parts of this season, it looks like at least, when you look back on the Baycats side, there were a lot of positives. I mean, they were up 2-0 in this series, and even though it looks like they will not win the series, this is the farthest they've gotten into the postseason in the Josh Matlow era. They've gone through a complete rebuild that looks to be nearing its end as they reestablish themselves as one of the threats of the IBL.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's huge for Josh Matlow, building some confidence. He built a fantastic roster, what seemed like at the start of the year, kind of, you know, some guys leaving for college kind of had the roster kind of wither away, like guys like Noah McGarry-Doyle, Josh Cote were invaluable to this team, had fantastic years, but unavailable for the playoffs. Definitely could have been difference makers as the postseason went on.
And Barrie will not use that as an excuse. I mean, they knew going into the playoffs what their roster was going to be. That's popped up, Burns under it. That's the second out of the inning. And now Barrie turns the page, and it looks like they're going to be entering next season. You would think a lot of the roster would be coming back, but throughout the offseason, we'll also see some brand new signings. Keep an eye out to BarrieBaycats.com and the Barrie Baycats social media channels for those. Jackfish not wanting to think about the offseason. They're 3 outs away. The Welland fans chanting for Gio. That's the nickname for Gianfranco Morello. Morello goes by both Gianfranco and Gio. Cox comes home, and that's outside. Here's the 2-0. And that's a strike. And just to go over it one more time, I mean, to put it in a way that I'm increasingly fond of, James Bradwell had a game today.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought that he would have been the pitcher for, you know, the Jackfish. They would let him finish this one out. You know, fantastic performances in both finals games he pitched in. And I would think for both of us, probably the MVP of this series.
I think so. That's fouled back. If I were to give an MVP, it would go to Bradwell. If you were to give an MVP, who would it be?
At this point, probably Bradwell. I mean, he was unhittable in Game 3. The Baycats kind of took what they saw from him, applied it to this game, but still couldn't score any runs off him. I believe that one run the Baycats scored tonight was unearned, so Bradwell maintaining an ERA of 0 in this series.
Assuming we have one, and we will if the score remains as it is, we'll be your host for the trophy presentation on the TV side. Rob Daniels will be our MC in the ballpark. as we stay with you after the final out on Baycats TV. That is, I mean, that ball might find its way to Welland. Morello goes deep, and it's 17-1. So now Morello raising the spirits of the Welland fans and the Welland dugout even more.
Number 15, Steve Moretto.
First pitch to Steven Moretto is swung on and missed. The Baycats had their impressive streak of championships in the mid-2010s. This is the first time in the IBL Finals since then. There was no season in 2020. In 2021, they were eliminated by the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second round. In 2022, they were eliminated by the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. This year, all the way to the finals, they were up 2-0. So inching closer and closer, but this season it looks like it's going to be the Welland Jackfish. Foul out of play. And a lot of the crowd is stuck with it. Some people have left for sure, but the stands are still full all the way across. The bullpens are empty. Two and two on the grounds. Burns, inning over. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. The Baycats have 3 outs left, and they need to score a lot. We'll be back in a moment on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back. The Welland Jackfish are 3 outs away from an IBL championship. Hayden Jaco will lead things off against Brandon Underhill. Underhill ready on the mound. Jaco ready as he steps in. James Anderson has stepped out on deck. First pitch is a strike. And the Welland Jackfish fans are very loud. The 0-1 is up and in to Hayden Jaco.
Jaco had a base hit in the 5th inning.
Swinging a pop-up. First base side, Moretto. 1 out. So Anderson will pinch hit.
Pinch hitting for the Baycats, number 34, James Anderson.
Welland leads the series 3-2. If the Baycats can score 17 runs, there will be a Game 7 tomorrow night. Now a meeting on the mounds.
Just a quick rundown, looks like from Essery, about James Anderson. Anderson hasn't appeared in the series yet. So, brand new look for the Welland pitching staff. A guy they haven't seen yet.
Bradwell will improve his postseason win-loss record to 5-0. Inside to James Anderson.
Yeah, 7 2/3 tonight. 6 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, 2 walks allowed, 1 run. It was unearned.
Up high.
Pushing his postseason earned run average to 1.02.
Swing and a miss. No, he just got a piece. Excuse me. 2-1. Even now at 2. That's inside. Anderson pinch hitting, by the way, for Carson Burns.
Looks like Chris Boato's throwing in the Jackfish bullpen just in case.
3-2. 2 hops to third. Throw on to first. 1 out to go. Here's Owen Jansen representing the final hope this season for the Barrie Baycats. And now another meeting on the mound. Are they giving the ball to Boato? Okay. I mean, it's a 16-run lead. You got to protect it. Chris Boato coming in. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats.
2 out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Real behind him.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. VMF Sportswear, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. High-quality, pro-custom uniforms using only the best quality fabrics. Custom apparel, excellent customer service, and community support. VMF Sportswear, Canada's trusted sportswear brand.
Julius Hern. It is Chris Boato into pitch.
Yeah, Chris Boato looks to be the man tasked with closing out the title run for the Welland Jackfish, and Owen Jansen is his opponent.
Owen Jansen represents the final hope for the Barrie Baycats this season. It is 17-1.
Yeah, Underhill went 1 full inning with 1 strikeout.
Jackfish going lefty-lefty. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. That's outside, 2-0. This place has gone silent. to the point where my normal speaking volume feels really, really loud. Like I almost feel like if I talk normally, I'm going to echo through the place. 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1.
Yeah, everyone, including Baycats fans and Jackfish fans, all in anticipation.
Jansen entered this game as a defensive replacement in the 7th inning for Avery Tuck. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Jansen struck out his last time up, his first at bat in the 7th inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes after the foul ball. Here we go. 2-2, 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Fly ball left field. Everybody moving over, but it's going to be a foul ball. 3 different Jackfish wanted it. The Welland Jackfish, well as the Jackfish, have never won a title. They are 1 strike away from changing that. Here we go. 2-2, 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. Jansen versus Boato. Here we go. Kicks, throws. Outside, ball 3.
A risky take there from Jansen, but just up and away out of the zone. Anticipation grows on a full count.
Full count, 2 out. Everybody nervously watching. Everybody anxiously watching. Here it is. That's strike 3, and for the first time, the Jackfish have brought a championship to the city of Welland. 17-1, the final score tonight. The Jackfish come out in Game 6 to Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie, and they dominate from start to finish. 17-1, the final score, as the Jackfish have won the Jack and Lynn Dominico Cup and the IBL Championship for 2023. The trophy presentation is next. Stay tuned. You'll hear from Rob Daniels, our public address announcer, and we'll guide you through it right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Welcome back. This is Baycats TV. This is the IBL Finals post-game show. As we wait for the trophy presentation, you can see it right there. The MVP trophy and the Jack and Lynn Dominico Cup. The Welland Jackfish, for the first time in franchise history, have won the IBL title. The Burlington Bandits were not able to win the title. Burlington Herd never got to win the title. The team moved to Welland in 2019, and they are now champions of the IBL, and they'll be able to say that forever. Waiting to hear from Ted Callendens, the commissioner, as well as Rob Daniels, the public address announcer.
The Jackfish earned everything they got this season, won their first pennant in franchise history. this year, topping out the IBL standings and carrying that momentum through the postseason and a dominant finish to this series.
And they are giving some thanks to the crowd on the left field side right now. There are a lot of Jackfish fans, as we mentioned. And now, handshakes and hugs across home plate with the Barrie Baycats. It wasn't the Baycats' best game today, Julius, but it was an excellent series. It was a closely played series. It was a dramatic series. And both teams can feel proud of what they have accomplished this season. And the Baycats are going to look good next year as well.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure if the Baycats expected they would get this far this year. You know, you mentioned, you know, with Josh Matlow, the new regime of the Baycats taking over, you know, rebuilding the roster. A couple of guys, you know, remain from the championship years, but other than that, seemingly a new roster carrying over from post-pandemic years. And, you know, Baycats probably didn't expect to get this far. They had a really strong year, you know, after a couple of guys leaving to college.
More cheers for the Jackfish. The Baycats will return to their dugout as they complete the handshake line. The Fanatics, as they call themselves, the fans of the Welland Jackfish, have a lot to be proud of this season. An excellent, excellent performance tonight from their starter, Bradwell. And the crowd shouting, "Thank you, Baycats." This season is one.
Cup to the Welland Jackfish. First time in franchise history. Congratulations going out to the Welland Jackfish tonight. And I'd like to introduce to you, to my left right now, the Intercounty Baseball League Commissioner, Ted Kalnins, and he's here to say a few words this evening. Thank you.
Thanks very much. First of all, congratulations to both teams and to the Barrie Baycats for an outstanding season. Congratulations. Barrie had a very, very entertaining team this season. Congrats, Josh, for putting together an incredible team. And off the field as well, all the volunteers here and the various owners of the Barrie Baycats. You have an incredible team to be very proud of. And the fans here, thank you so much for coming out today and supporting your team all season long. Now I'm going to call upon Ryan Harrison of the Welland Jackfish to take possession of the Jack and Lynn Dominico Cup Trophy for the first time in Welland Jackfish history. Congratulations. Thanks very much. Now we have another more trophy to give out here, fellas. One more trophy to give out here before we let you guys celebrate further. It's the playoff MVP trophy. The Welland Jackfish had a number of players with outstanding playoffs. Not an easy decision to make. But the winner of this trophy is someone who not only had a good playoffs, but had, frankly, a dominant playoffs. 5-0 as a pitcher, won every game. James Bradwell, 1.03 ERA over 35 innings, which was, frankly, well less than everyone else in the league. Came back on short rest against Toronto to win a game in relief. Has been absolutely dominant. Congratulations, James.
James Bradwell has won the MVP of the series.
Now I'm going to hand it back to our MC. I'm going to hand it back now to our MC. We're going to do a couple of interviews here from the Welland team.
I'd like to call upon Ryan Harrison, the president of the Welland Jackfish, to the pitcher's mound. There he is. Okay. Ryan, it's your first franchise win here in the Intercounty Baseball League for the Welland Jackfish. Tell me how you're feeling. What does this moment mean to you?
I've been with this team for 12 years from Burlington, and we never thought this was a possibility there, and now it is here. And it's not my championship. I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's all theirs. These guys did it, and our staff on the field, Brian, and everybody else with Jason involved too. Guys, it's your championship. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for letting me be part of it. The Fanatics, you're the best in the league. No questions asked. It's all yours. Have fun tonight.
A very well-traveled team indeed. Congratulations once again to the Welland Jackfish.
All right, the trophy presentation. The MVP of the series goes to James Bradwell. That was Ryan Harrison, the owner, or the president, excuse me, of the Welland Jackfish.
If we can
shouting
get
out
Mr.
the
Moretto.
Fanatics, as they call them, the fans in Welland. Now they'll take the team photo.
Congratulations. Why don't
As
you
the
say a
crowd
few words to
celebrates
the
with the Jack and
Fanatics,
Lynn
how
Dominico
you're feeling
Cup.
in
Let's
this
go back down
moment
to
right
Rob.
now after winning the IBL championship for the first time in franchise history for the Jackfish.
Just unbelievable. All series, all playoffs, all year. It's just been a full team effort. Every game, different guys stepping up, getting a play, making a pitch, getting it out. Full team effort, both sides of the ball, and I'm so unbelievably proud of these guys. It was an unbelievable year, start to finish. So fired up.
Congratulations. Enjoy the celebration. Yes. And why don't you bring over Mr. Morello just for a couple words. Yeah. Gio Morello, congratulations. And you know what I actually learned tonight is that I think it's your cousin or your aunt, Sherry Morello. She was my spin class instructor a few years ago. Shout out to Sherry Morello, who's in the audience, cheering on her family member here, Gio Moretto. This is your first win, obviously, with the Welland Jackfish, their first franchise win. You played, obviously, stellar throughout this entire series and this season. What does it mean to you being a part of this franchise, this team this year, this group of guys in this moment? What are you feeling?
It's hard to put into words, but we grinded all year. Felt like it was only us in our dugout who had the confidence in us and wanted us to win. So just doing it, this group, these fans, thanks for coming out tonight. These fans supporting us all year. Record crowds, ownership, coaching staff, the boys, hell of a season.
I imagine it's going to be quite the party in the Niagara region over the next few days.
Can't wait for it. Great fans. Can't wait to party with them.
Congratulations one more time to the Welland Jackfish, champions of the Intercounty Baseball League 2023.
All right. The trophy presentation has concluded. We have a bunch of people to thank before we head off air today, including our friends at Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, who are the stadium sponsors, Vintage Throne Stadium, Sabrina and Daniel, everybody who's appeared on Baycats TV this season, including Chris Lazar in the playoffs, Mark Perry, Neil Sriwastawa, all the road announcers, including Spencer Tangway, Alec Murray, who were the other announcers in this series for the Welland home games, Ben Davey, Brian Backland, who couldn't be here today, but are fixtures with Baycats TV. The producer, Brian Backland, and Ben Davey, our lead play-by-play voice. Julius, Hern, Dylan Quinn, who's producing tonight, Sam O'Coin, Kendra Doyle, Bob Hurley, our photographer, in-game host, Rob Daniels, our public address announcer, Juliet Mason, who is our production assistant, Gary Mason, our statistician, Dan Miller, and Riley Stone working with sound and video here at the ballpark, and our entire game day crew. We'd like to thank every single one of them for their excellent stuff all through the season as they take the team photo at home plate. And Julius, let's let you back on the mic for a moment for your final thoughts of the season.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I had a great time covering the team. It was quite a ride watching this team go through the playoffs and, play as great as they did throughout the year. And, they ran to the top team in the league, the Welland Jackfish, and they definitely earned their IBL championship here in Barrie.
I'd like to thank Dave Mills and Ted Kalnins for agreeing to be on the broadcast for interviews across the postseason. And I'd like to give an extra thank you to Dave Mills because I forgot to at the end of the 2021 season when I was doing this. A lot of names to keep straight in my head. I'm Patrick Melbourne. Thank you so much for watching Baycats TV tonight. Dominico Cup. Everybody, I hope you have a fantastic winter. The Baycats will see you in the springtime. Keep an eye on Baycats TV, barriebaycats.com, and the Baycats social media channels for info on signings, news, and the next season schedule. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.